This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, so we're here at the gravesite of Moses Montefiore, Moshe ben Yosef Eliyahu. Amazingly, when he met Rav Hillel of Shklov for the first time, Rav Hillel of Shklov was very clever in gematrios, so he told Moses Montefiore, who was so interested in the welfare of Yerushalayim, the gematria, Ure'eh Betuv Yerushalayim, Betuv Yerushalayim is gematria Moshe ben Yosef Eliyahu. And his point was, number one, you should always seek out the welfare of Yerushalayim, and number two, you should always see the goodness of Yerushalayim. You should not focus on anything bad or negative about Yerushalayim. One of the greatest accomplishments of Moses Montefiore is he saved the life of the Malbim. Just to tell you very bekitzer, in 1864, the Malbim was in Bucharest, was a Rav in Bucharest, and a reformed Jew by the name of Julius Barash was Malshin on the Malbim. The Malbim was a Prussian citizen, and he tattled on the Malbim that the Malbim was spying for Germany, and he made known in the Christian world that a lot of information found in the writings of the Malbim is negative toward Christianity. And in Bucharest they took this very seriously. The Malbim got a knock on the door. It was the police. They took the Malbim, they put him in jail, he was court-martialed, and there was a psak din on the Malbim that he was about to be executed. The Malbim was going to be executed before he wrote the Perushim of the Malbim al Torah. And Hasidim didn't know what to do. They went to the Sadigera Rebbe. And by the way, the Malbim was very close with the Malbim was very close with the Sadigera Rebbe. The Sadigera Rebbe very much valued the Malbim. In fact, the Malbim learned Kabbalah from Rav Tzvi Hersh of Zidichov. And the Sadigera Rebbe, when they came into his room, the Sadigera Rebbe already saw the trouble the Malbim was in, and he was in the middle of saying Tehillim. He was in the middle of saying Perek Ayin Hey V'chol Karnei Rishoyim Agadeya Tereimamna Karnei Sadik. And he said that we have no choice. The only thing we could do, summon Sir Moses Montefiore. He interceded, and he got the Malbim off the hook on condition the Malbim had agreed to leave the city within 24 hours. They took the Malbim, they put him on a train in the dung of a cow, and they shipped him out of the city. But his life was spared because of Sir Moses Montefiore. This is one of the great accomplishments of Sir Moses Montefiore. So he had many different interactions with nations of the world, with Gentiles, and somebody once asked Moses Montefiore, in England it's not really right that Jews and Christians should have the same rights. After all, look at the difference between the way we're buried. When a Jew is buried, he's buried in shmatos, in burial shrouds, and he doesn't bring anything with him. He doesn't bring his watch, he doesn't bring his cane, he doesn't bring his possessions. And when a Christian is buried, he's buried in a tuxedo and a top hat and his shiny boots. He has his golden watch and his silver cane. That shows that we're much more prestigious than you are. And Sir Moses Montefiore says you're making an excellent point. You see, the difference is that when you go on a trip, and a really long trip, and you're never coming back, you got to take all your stuff with you. So you guys, when they bury you, you're going on a long trip, you ain't ever coming back. So you have to dress up, put on your best clothing, you better take your watch and your cane with you, whatever else you could manage. But by us, it's just a temporary rest. We're just taking it easy for a little bit until B'yadcha afkid ruchi. We deposit in your hand our spirit. Be'esi shan. Soon we're going to get up, and then when we get up, God's going to give us our possessions back so we could go to sleep in our pajamas because we don't have to take our stuff with us. We're coming right back. By us, our burial is just a brief reprieve. So this was a man who had tremendous yiras shamayim and tremendous emunah and belief in our traditions of the afterlife and tchias hamesim. But I do want to share with you a few extra ideas and insight. Thank you very much.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.